Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's very cold and very windy this morning, so yeah, not super ideal given that, well, this afternoon I have a race on the cards, and this race on the cards is of course the National Cross Country Relays, my first proper cross country race of the season, and I'm feeling excited for it. Feeling alright, all things considered. Didn't get the best night's sleep last night since my parents came back from a Halloween party, woke me up at like 1 AM, but it is what it is. Getting a shakeout run done this morning just to prepare the legs for this afternoon's, well, hard 5k over the cross country course in Berryhill Park in Mansfield. So it's now almost 2 weeks on from the Yorkshire Marathon, and my body's starting to, well, recover quite well. I'm starting to feel like I can resume training as normal, and well, particularly this week we'll probably get in 100 miles for the week, and the body's feeling good, all things considered. So it's a good sign that the recovery, well, I really dialed in. It has helped this week having half term, just not had the stress of, well, waking up early, going for a run, and then going to school and basically operating on 100% speed capacity the entire morning so I can get to school on time and get the run in. But anyway, yeah, it's been nice having this break this week, but we'll be back to school next week. And with today's race, this also brings us on to the third workout in the series that helped me to run a 64-minute half marathon and a 2:18 marathon. And this workout, well, that's kind of less of a workout, but it is a workout nonetheless. And that is doing some tune-up races before the big goal race. So those of you who have been following the channel will have noticed that, well, I didn't just do the Great North Run and the Yorkshire Marathon as my only races as part of this training block. I've done quite a few. I mean, I've posted a race blog on each race I've done, mainly because I like doing race blog posts. But yeah, if you go back to kind of at the start of this training block, well, the first race was the Ruidoso Marathon. That was just a long training run, and well, just a good practice for, well, the marathon distance, doing a marathon at kind of a steadier pace, at altitude, over hills, in the heat. So really just preparing my body for the challenge of a marathon. And then we moved to the Bazzy and Bash 2 weeks after that, a 5-mile race to get some speed in the legs. Then it was the Newark Half Marathon to kind of have a test run over the half marathon distance. Then I think we had the Midlands Road Relays, or then the Great North Run, then the National Road Relays, and then lastly the Yorkshire Marathon. So it's a good number of races within this training block, but only 2 goal races. Now some of you may be wondering why I did quite a number of races around my goal half marathon race and my goal marathon race. Well, put simply, there's 2 main reasons. A, it's fun to race, I enjoy racing, and it also allows me to prepare for race day itself, because I'm so used to racing, I know what to do. Have that dial in, that pre-race routine and race day routine to a T. But perhaps maybe the biggest reason, more from a training standpoint, is it allows me to push myself harder, having the kind of competition and the competitive edge there, so I can get more fitness from, well, doing a race than I would do if I was to just do a solo training session. And so the races essentially are that big boost in fitness, those hard training sessions. But of course, when it does come to these races, you also have to be smart, kind of with the training around them. If we go into the races fatigued, that's okay, but then if we absolutely push ourselves to the maximum and we crawl across the line after the race, well, we may need to kind of tailor the training the week after the race around that, because we will be feeling fatigued, we'll be feeling tired, and there will be, well, very, no chance of getting in a high quality session in the days following. I mean, take the Great North Run, for example. I didn't do, well, a session until the Saturday following, and just ran easy. for 5 days after the race. And that was what my body needed to really kind of absorb the race, absorb the effort and recover. So how can we incorporate some tune-up races into our training? Well, perhaps the easiest way to do this is have a look at kind of the workout scheduled across the training block and see what you have, like a speed session, let's say with 5x with 60 seconds strong recovery. Well, maybe substitute that with a park run or 5k race. You'll still get the same, if not more, benefit from the 5k race. You can train as normal going into the race as though you were doing the session, but just bear in mind it might take a little bit longer to recover from the race than the session. And equally, let's say if we have a tempo run where we've planned to do a half marathon at marathon pace, well, what better way than to do that in an actual half marathon race? Just practice marathon pace. Now, by all means, you may pick it up or run a little bit faster than you expect. That's okay. Just in mind, it'll take that bit more longer recovery time. But it can make the events and the training so much more fun when you're doing it as a group or racing it. And yeah, that's, it's so much better when it's training, it's fun, than if we're having to grind things out solo and it starts to feel a bit like a chore. So I think that's really all I have to say about how we can use tune-up races to really build fitness going into our goal half marathon or goal marathon out there. So I think I'll get finished with this easy run and then just chill out and focus before going to the cross-country relays over in Mansfield in a couple hours. So I'll catch you in a sec. So we're now at Berryhill Park in Mansfield. The course is looking very good for UK standards. Very American actually, by the looks of things. Not much mud, so I think I'll bring out the Dragonflies for this race.
Off you go. Go.
And we're off. So as I take over for my team on the last leg for the day, we were in 12th place. And I knew I had some time to make up, some distance to make up, to try and catch up to make it into that top 10. But fortunately, I could see there was only a couple seconds between me and a few people up ahead. So I decided it'd be a good idea to absolutely set off like a rocket. And that's exactly what I did. I went flying through the first, couple hundred meters of the race. And as these first couple hundred meters passed, I already find myself latching on to people who set off just a couple seconds before me. I was really moving at this point, and I was a man on a mission on my rocket. I was just going to run as fast as I possibly could from point A to point B, which was over 5k over the course in Berryhill Park in Mansfield. And I just kept going and going and going, and really just, smashing out some very fast paces, fast as I think I've ran in a while, just putting on the Dragonflies, putting on the cross-country spikes. It just almost made my legs feel come alive and just felt like I had that magic there. And so yeah, I just kept pushing it and, going to the woods. I still finished strong. The lactate hadn't hit yet. I'm surprised if it would do over the first couple of minutes, but I did go off pretty hard. I just basically powered on up through the hills, through the woods and over the log jumps, no bother. I actually felt like over the log jumps, I felt like I was literally flying. Had that couple seconds of hang time. And then as we come out the woods on that first lap and out into the open, I was still feeling strong, still feeling good, and I was actually still catching people. I was still pushing the pace, still keeping it strong. And yeah, as I approached as I came round for the first lap, in somewhere around 7:10, 7:20 range, I did have to stop the camera at one point because I thought it wasn't recording, and then I realised it was recording, so paused the footage briefly. So it give or take a couple of seconds here. I tried to line it up with my Strava, so I think it's right, but I don't know. But yeah, anyways, I came through the first lap. I was feeling good, feeling strong. And yeah, I basically found myself at that point. I think I was in 7th place, but moved up to 5th place. And I was chasing down that lead pack. Now, over the course of this last lap, that's when the lactate did start to hit me, but it wasn't until really I got into the woods for the second time around. I was still running pretty quick, still holding it together. I think with all this marathon training and a strong aerobic training, I'm definitely fit and can definitely hold a fast pace. But it's just that when I do hit that red line, it's very hard, but it takes a lot for me to hit that red line. That's kind of what aerobic fitness is built upon, is it takes more to hit your red line. But if you haven't done a lot of anaerobic work, when you do hit that red line, it just feels horrible, feels dreadful. So when I did get into the woods, that's when I started to feel like, I've probably gone off a bit too hard on that first lap. But I still hold it together strong. I mean, my mile splits were 4:45 for the first mile, 4:50 for the second mile. And over the course in Berry Hill Park with the hills, that was moving. And as I came round out of the woods, I had slowed down on the woods on the second time round compared to the first time round. My legs were a little bit more tired. The log jumps were a little bit harder to do, but I was still running strong, and actually could see fourth place up in the distance. And actually was the Western Tempo guy, and Western Tempo being the team my good teammate Jacob Can runs for. He had the fastest leg of the day, an absolute solid run to I think he ran 14:23 over this 5k course, which is absolutely insane, because this is not, although it's dry and it's fairly fast, it's not the easiest of courses, it's still fairly hilly. But I just kept going. I started chasing him down, but sadly it was just too much of a distance to close. But I really worked hard, kind of that last 800 or so, to really close the distance. And as I came through to the finish, I think there was about 9 seconds between fourth and fifth, but I knew if it had been a little bit longer, I probably could have got fourth place. And my third mile was a 4:58, so I did slow down compared to my other 2 miles. But that third mile also felt like that was the hardest mile too, because I think it was mostly uphill. Overall, a very solid, strong run. And I ran 14:53 overall to come and bring my team in 5th place overall, the best finish we've ever had at national competition. So that's the national cross country relays over and done with. So definitely pleased with how the race went, not just in my leg, but as a team. As a team, we did amazing. We finished in 5th place nationally overall, which is great because we are not a big club at all. We just really took it to some of the top teams out there, and definitely think maybe next year there's a chance at a medal at the national cross country relays. So with today's race, over and done with now. Today is, not a big race for the club, but it's also a tune-up race, because, next week will be the Cardiff cross country. Going to take that one as a good race, see where I'm at before, then 2 weeks in time after that, doing Liverpool cross. And ultimately, Liverpool cross, that'll be the big cross country race this side of Christmas, and will just be the chance to see if we can qualify for the Eurocross. Based on the standings today, I need to double check where I was kind of nationally in terms of the fastest legs. Definitely think I was inside the top 20, maybe even inside the top 10, we'll see. But my strength is going to be kind of just holding on for the longer distance. I could have probably ran about the same pace today, for an 8k or a 10k. I can just hold that pace. That's going to be the goal. So I think that's really all I have to say as part of today's episode on racing and for this race vlog. Hope you've enjoyed. It's getting a bit dark now actually, whilst I'm finishing off my cool down. So I'll be heading home soon anyway. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And I will see you in the last episode of the series, where we talk about, probably the most important thing when it comes to marathon and half marathon performance, the most important workout. I'll leave you to guess what that is. I'll see you then.